3 weeks ago, the round of 8 for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series began at Talladega, and it ended in dramatic style with Grant Enfinger winning it all, and most importantly, locking himself into the championship four at Phoenix in 2 weeks' time. That means there are 3 more spots up for grabs, with 7 truckers getting ready to duke it out in the beautiful South Florida sun as we get ready for the second race in the round of 8 of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series playoffs. It's the Baptist Held 200, live from Homestead-Miami Speedway in Homestead, Florida. Absolutely gorgeous but hot here in South Florida. Temperature in the low 80s, no chance of rain, but good amount of wind in the area. 10 miles an hour northeast through the racetrack, with wind gusts can get as high as 16 miles per hour. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to episode of MDK RaceDay. My name is Jet. Hope we're having a wonderful Saturday as we get ready for a doubleheader here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. And for the first time since Phoenix, I think in 2020, I will be covering a Truck Series race, or at least previewing a Truck Series event. And like I posted on my social media pages, from this point onwards, Homestead, Martinsville, and Phoenix, we will be covering trucks, Xfinity, and Cup, both previewing and recapping. So it's going to be a very crazy 3 weeks. Let's not waste any time and jump right into it with our playoff trailer. Like I mentioned before, the last time you saw the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series 3 weeks ago at Talladega, and Grant Enfinger won that race, locking himself into the championship four. Regular season champion Corey Heim sitting in second place, 30 points above the cut line. Christian Eckes right behind him at plus 29. Then a big gap to plus 5 for JettMDK, who holds the final spot at the moment ahead of Rajah Caruth. Taylor Gray minus 13, Nick Sanchez minus 20, and Tyler Ankrum sitting at minus 23. Now, qualifying took place yesterday, and it was Corey Heim once again showing how consistent he's been in 2024, continuing his momentum, winning his 7th career Truck Series pole in the first pole of his career, and also the first pole here at Homestead-Miami Speedway, completing it with a speed of 165.062 miles per hour. Now, here's a look at the starting lineup for the 2024 Baptist Held 200 from Homestead-Miami Speedway. The top 5 positions, all playoff contenders. Corey Heim, alongside him is his teammate and fellow playoff driver from Tricon Garage, Taylor Gray. Row 2 has Rajah Caruth in the 71 Chevrolet, and alongside him is Nick Sanchez in the 2 truck. Row 3 has JettMDK, who won here back in 2022, and alongside him is Caden Honeycutt in the 45 truck. Row 4 has Daniel Dye in the 43 truck and Christian Eckes in the 19 truck. And around the top 10 is the last time we race. Winner Grant Enfinger in the 9 truck, and alongside him is Connor Mozak in the 7 truck. Row 6 has Bailey Curry and Stuart Friesen. Row 7 has Lane Riggs, who is going to be really strong in 2025, starting alongside Dawson Sutton in the 25 truck. Tyler Ankrum, the lowest of the playoff drivers, starting in row 8. Alongside him is Connor Zilic, who is one of a few drivers doing double duty this weekend, starting alongside in the 75 truck. Row 9 has Chase Purdy from Spire Motorsports. Alongside him is Dean Thompson. And around the top 20 is Ben Rhodes in the 99 truck, and William Zawalich, who's also doing double duty here this weekend in the 1 truck. Corey Day and multiple-time truck champion Matt Crafton begin row 11. Row 12, rookie Connor Jones and Matt Mills. Timmy Hill and Jake Garcia, row 13. Wallace Allen and Connor Daly back again in the Truck Series in row 14. Right at the top 30 here is Nathan Bird and Marco Andretti in the 04 truck. And here's a look at the final 2 rows. Frankie Muniz driving the 22 truck for Rayon Bros Racing. It was announced earlier this week that he will return to the team, this time full-time in the Craftsman Truck Series, so excellent news for him. Alongside him is Justin Mondick in the 46 truck, and running out the field is Tanner Gray in the 15 truck, and Spencer Boyd in the 76 truck. Here's a look at the opening odds to win the Baptist Held 200. No surprise to see Corey Heim sitting at plus 160, Christian Eckes plus 300, Majeski at 700, and then a drop. Sanchez and Riggs as well as Enfinger both sitting at plus 1,000, Honeycutt 1,800, Caruth and Zilic at 2,200, and Ben Rhodes sitting here at 2,500. Next page is Zawilich at 2,800, Ankrum at 3,000 alongside Stuart Friesen. Taylor Gray, who has the biggest odds in terms of all playoff drivers, sitting at plus 3,500, surprising because he is starting second here today. Dean Thompson at 5,000, Gray at 6,000, as well as Connor Mozak, Dawson Sutton, Corey Gray, and Chase Purdy all sitting at 7,500. So, what can we expect here at Homestead today for the Truck Series? Well, you do have to look at Corey Heim. I mean, you have to look at Corey Heim. So far in 2024, he has been on it, especially in the mile and a half programs. The last time we raced on a mile and a half was Kansas, and he won that. In fact, he swept Kansas so far in 2024, and he has 2 top 5 finishes at both events here at Homestead, a 3rd and a 5th place respectively, including last year when he finished 3rd. He led the most laps, so he knows how to run well here at Homestead. So him starting up front is could be very scary for the competition there. But if there is one driver that I think you could take a look at, and that is Ty Majeski. He currently enters the playoff grid, like I said, +5 above the cut line. But he does have something that the other 7 drivers do not have, is that he is the only winner at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Did so 2 years ago back in 2022. So he has that to his advantage. He knows how to win here. Coming into this weekend, though, he has been very strong in practice. Like I said, he qualified 5th in this race, right behind Rajah Caruth, the driver that he is basically racing for that final playoff spot. Was 4th fastest in practice and 3rd fastest in the 10-lap average. But this year, him and his mile and a half program hasn't been the greatest. Of the 5 mile and a half races so far that the Truck Series has ran, he has only had 2 top 10 finishes, both being 10th. The other 3 are outside the top 15, a 15th, a 23rd, and a 33rd respectively. So Majeski, he has that previous success, and him with his dirt racing background, racing in a track like Homestead will definitely play to his advantage. But with his mile and a half program not being the best, still I would keep an eye on that 98 truck. He could put up a fight against Rajah Caruth, Nick Sanchez, and the other drivers he's fighting against within the playoffs. Speaking of Nick Sanchez, he's also another driver that you have to watch out for. He won here back in May at Charlotte, another mile and a half track earlier this year, so that's something you have to take into consideration. Starting in the 4th position, but he has been really good so far in practice. Fastest in practice and also fastest in the 10-lap averages. This is going to be very important. But he is 20 points below the cut line. So he really needs to go out there and win stage points. I would argue he has to win stage points because depending on how Ty Majeski does, which is basically who he's racing, because Christian Eckes and Corey Heim, 30 points and 29 points respectively above the cut line, they can afford to lose a little bit of ground. Not so much, but they can afford to lose a little bit of ground. Right now, I look at Caruth, Sanchez, Taylor Gray, and Tyler Ankrum, even though I don't think he has a real shot. But those 4 drivers are going to be gunning for Majeski. So Majeski has to be on it, and specifically Nick Sanchez, with his previous success on the mile half programs this season. And he has ran really good so far this weekend here at Homestead, starting the 4th position, like I mentioned. This could be a great opportunity for him to earn some stage points to cut that gap between him and the cut line. Same thing for Rajah Caruth. Now, Rajah Caruth, he's starting 3rd in this race. He has won on a mile and a half track back at Las Vegas earlier in March. But he's not in a hole like Nick Sanchez is, or Taylor Gray, or Tyler Ankrum is. He's only 5 points below the cut line. He just needs to be within distance, okay? Just be ahead of Ty Majeski. You know, he doesn't need to go out there and lead the most laps, go out there and win, win stages. If he can, that's great, but he doesn't need to do that. Unlike the other drivers that I mentioned, he just needs to just chip away. If he finishes 2 or 3 spots ahead of Majeski in stage 1, that's really all he needs to do, is just to race the 98 truck. That's what Rajah has to do. Race the 98 truck. He doesn't need to go out there and win. Obviously, that would solve everything, but he just needs to race the 98 truck. Whereas the 2, the 17, and the 18 trucks, they have to not only beat the 98 truck, but I think they gotta win. I mean, we're going to a track like Martinsville, which we know things can get crazy, but I think this is the last normal race. So definitely the 2, the 17, and the 18 are going to be banking on trying to get as much points as they can. Pit strategy will be very important. I won't be surprised if they use pit strategy to their advantage by staying out, trying to earn as many stage points as possible. How that will affect with a driver like Ty Majeski, who is above the cut line, but how will that affect will be very interesting to see here today. But who do I think is going to win this race? I think it's going to be the driver that's sitting 2nd in the playoff grid. Starting on pole, I have Corey Heim. Corey Heim has just been, like I said, really good on the mile and a half program this year. Really good overall this season. I mean, he's just been on the money. Starting on pole here today, I just can't see why. And led the most laps last year, finished 3rd. I can't see why. I got Corey Heim winning here at Homestead here today. But that's it for this episode of MDK Race Day, covering the Truck Series from Homestead-Miami Speedway. Make sure you check out here later in the morning. We'll be uploading the Xfinity Series Race Day portion for Homestead-Miami Speedway just a couple hours from now. As always, make sure you return here to this channel immediately following both the Truck Series and Xfinity Series races. We'll be recapping both of them. And as always, Sunday, the Cup Series Race Day at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And as well, follow that up Sunday night with MDK Racing Victory Stops. So make sure y'all tune in for that. Until next time, though, my name is Jett from MDK. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy your Saturday. Enjoy the doubleheader. And we'll see you here later tonight here on MDK.